welcome. This is a board deck of dice review for Zatu Games. Today I'm looking at Incohearent. It's an adult party game that will get you talking, and it certainly is an adult party game for the most part. You would have to go through the cards and edit, take some out for to play with younger kids, and a lot of the things probably won't go that well for young kids. They might not know what they are. But what is the game itself? The game is a series of cards in 3 categories. We have popular culture, kinky, and I can't remember the other one, party. And they have phrases on them, and on the back they have what the phrase means, what the phrase is, and a hint. So one of you will read out this one: came off drones, and then people will say it and say it and say it until they realise what it's meant to be sounding like. So came off drones, Game of Thrones. Strange rain, sorry, I've given it away. Stir, range, earth, links, inks is Stranger Things. This one seems like, okay, it's not rude, I just thought it was. Hey, knob, putty, god, dime, fourth, hat. Hey, knob, putty, god, dime, fourth, hat is ain't nobody got time for that. And that's probably one of the hardest ones in terms of it's not a perfect fit. They range from really, really good, this drug, gull Israel, the struggle is real. And what you find is that you have to say the phrases back in different ways, chopping up the words in different parts. And every time I've played this, mainly over the internet, people have gone, that sounds like nothing. And I've said, oh, say it that way that you just said it again. Or I might help them by saying where they need to break up one of the words. And they kind of tune into it like they're learning a foreign language. And then it becomes quite fun because people are kind of laughing at the attempts. They're laughing at everyone going, this drug is real. The struggle, and kind of they're joining in and trying to snatch it from people. So it does work really well. My wife hates this game. She thinks it's barely a game, and I can see what she means. It's more of a silly activity. But what I find is this, for me, who doesn't normally play these kind of adult games, and there are some very naughty ones in this whole big box, not just the kinky ones, which is that section there, but the other categories do have swear words in and stuff that you perhaps wouldn't want your kids seeing. I don't know if there's any in here that I can... The yellow ones tend to be all right, but they can refer to stuff that you you might not want to tell them. Yeah, the yellow ones tend to be the best if you're playing with people you don't want to kind of see all that stuff. Oh, this is one of the worst examples that I thought didn't really work. Det tub bull is Deadpool, which again, that one didn't work so well for me. But then you've seen the examples, kind of the best and the worst. But I think this game, for want of a better term, has been really good for the live shows that we've been using, just throwing in a couple of these for people to chew on, perhaps while we're playing different games, for example. It's a game that's definitely meant to be played with alcohol because of the way you say things. And it's one where if you're the clue giver, you do have to watch out when you're reading them out that you don't give the answer away. It's best to kind of look at them first, although you can't do that if you're trying to censor any. Read the front and then look on the back if you're in a group that allows you to do that. So yeah, I've had fun with this one. It's silly. My son loves doing the ones. He's 9 and I've gone through and sorted out ones that he can do, and he finds it hilarious because he kind of talks in those languages anyway. So I'd love to see a kind of more family-friendly one with family TV shows on, family phrases. I think that would work really well and nicely, just the silly kind of, like one of these Hasbro games. The one we like is the one where you've got the headphones on, hearing things, and you're trying to lip read. And I think this kind of falls into that kind of category where it's kind of like, it might be better to lip read, I don't know. But it gives you something to do that is fun with a group of people, and you're going to know your friends and whether they are the type of people who appreciate a game like Incoherent or not. If they're not, then they're not going to appreciate it. If they go nowhere near games like Cards Against Humanity, Fun Employment, or fully employed, stuff like that, then they're not going to appreciate this. For me, I would rather play this over Cards Against Humanity. I find it amusing. I enjoy the puzzle of trying to work out the words. Probably doesn't have a lot of variety, but I think for this type of game you could go a lot worse. I think this and Trial by Trolley have been my favourite adult style party games, and I would certainly play this with my friends and some of my friends, and I've sent it to all my siblings, some of the examples on Snapchat, not Snapchat, I don't use that, I'm old, WhatsApp. I send them photos and they try and work them out. So yeah, for what it is, it works well. There's no intimidation factor apart from if you don't like bad language and sexual terms and acts, but the rules are simple. I mean, there's barely any rules, and to be honest, we just make up the game as we go. It's not a game where we assign points and winners. We just all join in the fun of the challenge. And yeah, I have very few of these games in my collection, and this is one that will stay in my collection because it is, yes, it's offensive, but it's not offensive in a way that can't be tamed as I need to tame it and as I want to tame it. But I will say that if you're at all unsure, I reckon up to 50-60% of the cards you would need to not use, depending on your audience. So there is that. But yeah, as it goes for these games, totally fine example of them. Like I say, I'm not going to rave it's the best game ever, but this and Trial by Trolley get me sorted for that sort of party game in my collection. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.